Hi, everybody. It's Lori Seeley, functional medicine health coach. And I am getting so excited because we have the first class of the Guts and Glory Galley tomorrow night. I'm just dotting my I's and crossing my T's and getting all ready for it. And I'm so excited. So, you guys, if you missed the enrollment if you missed the enrollment window and you still want to join, email me at loriseeley.com or message me right here and we'll see if we can work something out, okay? And I'll be opening enrollment again at least once before the end of the year. All right, okay, so today we are talking about supplements. So theoretically, we should be getting all of our vitamins and minerals that we need from food and from our environment. But for many reasons, including questionable farming practices, living in northern climates far from the sun, toxic ingredients in our everyday products such as soaps, lotions, candles, cleaning products, we need certain supplements to actually keep us functioning optimally. So I'm going to highlight two of those supplements in today's video, okay? And if you want to read more on the subject, just go ahead and click on the link I put in the notes for this week's blog post. I'm talking about 5 supplements in there, okay? So, and I'm also covering this subject in depth this month in the Guts and Glory Galley. So for those of you who are in there, that's what the class is going to be about tomorrow. And it's going to be so helpful for you guys, okay? So the first vitamin that I want to talk about today is vitamin D3. So D3 is important for a ton of reasons. The most important things are the gut health and also bone health. So I'm going to touch on gut health first. D3 is actually very important to help us retain those tight junctions between the microvilli and the small intestines. And this is going to help protect us against leaky gut. Now, I know that I talk about this a lot in here, but it's because it's so important. Most people with candida have leaky gut. Most people with candida also are low in vitamin D3. So this totally makes sense. With insufficient vitamin D3, we increase the risk of intestinal permeability, which is leaky gut. And that can lead downstream to an overreactive immune system, food sensitivities, chronic inflammation, and autoimmune issues. Now, I'm talking about like arthritis, MS, lupus, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, vitiligo, all situations where the body is actually attacking its own tissue. Most inflammatory conditions today that lead to serious illness are completely avoidable if you see the signs before the illness gets serious. And one of those signs is low vitamin D, okay? And these conditions are reversible too. Once you have one of these autoimmune conditions, there are steps that you can take to reverse the damage in your gut and heal your gut. And vitamin D is a huge factor here, okay? So we're capable actually of producing vitamin D3 in our bodies. However, we need sufficient exposure to the sun to make that happen. And when we go outside covered in sunscreen, like I know that before I learned about this, I used to think I'm spending time outside in the summer, I'm covered in sunscreen so that I don't get a sunburn because I mean, I am fair. I'm Pollock through and through, and I burn very easily. So I have to be covered in sunscreen, right? And actually sunscreen blocks our body's ability to soak in the sun's rays that help us to produce vitamin D3 inside our bodies. Besides that, those of us who live in the northern hemisphere, most months out of the year, the sun is at the wrong angle to provide sufficient exposure to trigger vitamin D production. So that's like from like September through March. the sun is hitting us at the wrong angle and we're not going to trigger vitamin D production inside our bodies. So if we do want optimal levels, you kind of have to supplement. However, vitamin D3 is a fat-soluble vitamin, and because of that, it is possible to have too much of it. So be careful. If you do choose to supplement with vitamin D3, have your levels checked regularly. An optimal level for most people is at least 50, and they have this weird thing, Ng over ml, okay? And most women do well at around 70, okay? So at this point, I see there's a couple people listening. If you have any comments or questions about this, you just let me know, type it right in the chat, okay? So that's vitamin D3. Something else that's very important in conjunction with vitamin D3, when you're taking D3, you absorb calcium better, okay? But you have to make sure that that calcium is getting used in the right way. And if you do not have sufficient vitamin K2, your calcium could be going rogue in your body and just getting deposited in the wrong place. And that's where we see calcium deposits in our joints, in our kidneys, just various places in the bloodstream, okay? And that's what we want to avoid, because kidney stones are really painful. I watched one of my friends going through passing a kidney stone, and it was horrible. We were in rehearsal. She was sweating. She was like doubled over in pain. She couldn't even breathe enough to cry, even though like I could tell that's really what she wanted to do, but she couldn't breathe to do it. It's horrible. You don't want kidney stones. So the thing that helps us to avoid the kidney stones is using vitamin K2, so that we put that helps the vitamin D and the calcium to go to our bones, instead of just like hanging out wherever where you have extra calcium and your body's like, I don't know, put it in your kidney, make a stone out of it. Now, this is something interesting. That friend that I have who suffered with kidney stones went through that. Her doctor told her to avoid certain foods. And this is something that feels to me like it may have been a little irresponsible or just like underinformed from the doctor, because honestly, he told her to avoid things like spinach, leafy greens in general, broccoli, tomatoes, things that are high in calcium. And so the problem, if you have kidney stones, is not that you have too much calcium in your body, because you could have kidney stones and low bone density at the same time. So the problem is not that you have too much calcium, it's that the calcium that you have in your body is in the wrong place. And vitamin K2 can help with that. So you want to make sure that you're taking supplements that are high in vitamin K2. K2 you can find that alone in a supplement. You can also find it in conjunction with vitamin D3, because in the good health food stores, in the good supplement companies, they know that D3 and K2 work together to put calcium into your bones, rather than having it run rogue all over your body and get stuck in your organs or in your kidneys where it doesn't belong. Okay, now this is particularly important for people entering middle age, obviously. And those people might actually even be taking extra calcium in supplement form or eating foods high in calcium, right? And so it's definitely a good idea for you to supplement with vitamin K2 to make sure that that calcium goes to bones where it belongs. Okay, I'm going to cut it short there. I really hope that this was useful for you. And in the blog post this week, I'm talking about helpful multivitamins, omega-3s. So you want to go there and read the whole blog post, because I get a little more in depth in there, okay? And if you have any questions about anything that I've said today, anything in the blog post, please just post those questions right here and be sure you tag me in them so that I'm sure to see them, okay? Even if you're watching in the replay, that's why you need to tag me so I'm sure to see your comments and your questions, okay? And make sure if you're ready for some private one-on-one help, you can private message me so we can start talking and see what that's going to look like for you, okay? Now I'll see you next week, and thanks for being here. Bye.